row, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I can do this. Might as well do it at scale. And when you try to do it at scale, you run into the problem of if the new hires vastly outnumber the old guard, the reverse happens on culture. She's on Vyvanse, I'm on Adderall, but I don't always take my prescription. Hence why, even though they lost a month's supply, I'm going to be fine because I don't even take it every day, and I had a surplus because I don't take it every day. Okay, yeah, so I was telling you about Matt earlier. I like Matt. You know, obviously, you know, smart, good degree, but there was a bit of a yellow flag, which is that it seemed like there was some very simple, and maybe I'm just like being way too judgmental about like something that doesn't matter, but it's like I feel like there's certain understandings that you can parse even if you're not like familiar necessarily with the situation. It's like he had 9 and he was like considering not hitting. It's like, bro, the worst thing it could be is an 11. Like, worst thing. The highest thing it could be is an 11. It's an ace. Well, why are you not hitting? Anything is better than a 9. Right? And it was the first hand, so he can't have counted the cards to know that, like, there's a high probability of, like, you know, I don't even know, like, what the fuck he would be hoping against. Like, it's just, it was, like, weird. I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? You can't even bust, bro. Well, he said he played blackjack before, so. The thing is, he was very wordy, and here's my thing. I've realized that, like, and I've started to do this. It's like, what I need when I hire someone is for them to basically just soak in and absorb for like 2-3 months minimum. Like, I think in those 2-3 months, they probably shouldn't at all offer any, like, oh, well, I would do that differently. Like, no. It's all constructive, you know, comments from you, and just learn how everything works. It's complex. There's a lot of moving parts. And then, as you start to understand the bigger picture, feel free to add value and make improvements. I've noticed that anytime some dumb motherfucker starts giving improvements out the gate, I'm just like, how the fuck do you think you even have a basis to make a change that's net positive? Right? Like, it's like, how? You know, like, your job is to absorb and to understand. Only after you understand how and why everything works the way it does can you actually make an improvement. Everything before that is just like mental masturbation, right? Like, Amber, his first thing was like, you know, I bet I could save you a few dollars on your prescription. And I was like, okay, I mean, sure, I mean, that's not really what I care about, but if you can automate it, that would be useful, right? And so then he proceeded to attempt to automate the thing, and he switched it to Walmart, and then he had them deliver it, but they couldn't deliver the controlled stuff, the Vyvanse and the Adderall. So then it became, he got 3 prescriptions delivered, and then he had to go get the other 2. And I remember asking him after 2 months of this, like, okay, so what did we learn? And he was just like, what do you mean? I was like, I mean, you said you were getting them delivered to automate it and save time, and you're going to pick up the prescriptions, and there has to be someone here, you know, to sign for the other 3. It's like we've taken something that was a one-step thing, and we've complexified it to where now you have to do both. That's not an efficiency. And he was just like, and he wouldn't even be able to, like, acknowledge that. That was the main thing. I'm just like, I don't even know if this guy understands, right? And then I said, you know what? I think it just makes sense for you to switch it back to Walgreens, because Walgreens is way closer to us, and then we'll just have someone pick it up on their way into work first Monday of every month. And then a week later, it wasn't switched over to Walgreens yet. I go, what the fuck? Why not? And he goes, well, you know, they're going to charge you like $20 to move the prescriptions. And I, like, about exploded on him. I was like, how much do I pay you a day? How about we save that money? Like how much do you buy in snacks a week? More than $20? Switch to goddamn prescriptions, idiot. Like, I could light my cigar with $20 and I wouldn't feel anything. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Right? Like, it's like, dude, here you're gonna save me $20. Really? It just sounds like you're lazy and don't want to switch to prescriptions, buddy. The fuck, man? That's where you're gonna save me $20? That's what I want to do. I want to scare people away from working for me, because if you don't think you can, you definitely can't. It's the doctor who charges the $20 to write the script again. It's like a service charge. It's bullshit, but, you know. I need to start asking more screening questions. I don't want to, like, fuck it. You know, if you're here tonight, you're going to get a little edge. I have a series of screening questions that I ask, and, like, assuming they're answering them honestly, you know, like, it gives me a pretty good basis for the person. One of them is actually, in your life, just generalizing, do you feel like you've been lucky? You hire the yeses. You red card everyone else. They need to say yes. Right? Because if they don't feel lucky, inevitably they have a chip on their shoulder, and, like, the excuse is going to come out the first time they fall short. Well, these factors were outside my control. It's like, no. You want someone who feels lucky and feels like they are the locus of control in their universe. Not that they can do and change anything, just that they have an amount of efficacy to change something if they so desired. They have to believe that that's possible for them to be effective. You need to ask them if they have been lucky in life, broadly speaking. And you can only hire the people who say yes. Anyone else is, like, already, like, predisposed towards, you know, fucking up and saying it's nothing they could do to change it. Oh yeah, Kate's cheating on me with my entire family sleeping over. Makes sense. You're acting as if I don't have every square inch of my entire house covered with cameras. I don't even jerk off anymore because there's cameras everywhere. Okay? Bro, when those guys broke in, every minute, every second they were on property, there was like 2 cameras or more on them at all times. Okay? I do enjoy you guys hanging out. I actually like this. This feels fun. It's like we're hanging out. I love the instant feedback of chat. You know what I love? I discovered streaming in like 2015 while just ever so occasionally watching Recful IRL streams. And I remember the coolest thing in the world was like what I like to call chat IQ. It's like AI before AI, right? He'd be like in Japan and he'd be like, I can't read this sign. Chat, is this the right way or is this the right way? You know, to where he's trying to go. And then chat would start spamming, and then the more spamming in one answer's direction, he would go there and it would generally be right. Because people Googled it, and there's some people trolling him, but the vast majority of people want to help him. I always thought it was really cool that you could tap into that, like, collective, like, you know how they go, like, if you get 1,000 people to guess how many pennies are in a jar, the average of their answers is going to be real fucking close. Right? There's like a heuristic that people kind of start to, like, normally distribute into the right answer. I feel like it's really cool when a chat gets big enough and dense enough to do that. Like, I'd love to be IRLing and be like, wait a minute, I'm trying to go to this restaurant. Do I go down this street or this street? And then for chat to fucking spam the street, I'm like, okay, cool. That's fucking fantastic. Or for me to be like, hey, the clip I'm thinking about is this. And then just like it comes out. Holy shit. That's next level. I like Alec Bradley. They're pretty good. I haven't had one in a bit, though. I have had, yeah, Alec Bradley. I played well. Yeah. I have almost no experiences with Chance. Kate collabed with him like one time, like in 2016. And then he's been like more reclusive and Asmongold like in terms of like not going out. I mean, Reckful kind of, I don't know if that's how it happened. I don't know them, as well. But like, I remember they hung out when Chance had pink hair at 2000. I can't remember if it was 2016 or 17. I think it was 17 because it was Long Beach TwitchCon. And then they were on our floor. And so, like, we saw them a lot. And, Kate, like, I think hung out with the streamer group of cool kids, later at the con. And so, I don't know. I think it was a different time. I think Chance now is kind of checked out. I played a Warlock originally in the vanilla days, like real vanilla. Eventually I switched to a Hunter and a Druid. I've never jerked off in Roll Force. On me, I have 2 cigars, this one and the other one. Upstairs in my bag, I have like 9. I'm gonna need them tomorrow for my character development. Kate and Burger Planet would make beautiful redhead babies. Okay. This is just a Cigars International mimicking cigar that mimics, like, essentially Davidoff. Pretty good. Any big purchases on the cards? Yes. I'm not in a super big rush, but I'm kind of loosely trying to pick up a FFC, the Francis Ford Coppola FP Jorn watch, which is like about $1 mil. Again, I'm not in a rush. That could be a 2-year down the road purchase. I'm just like kind of keeping my eyes peeled. I just bought a Grand Seiko watch, like earlier today. It was a really, really limited one. I'll show you guys when I get it. That there's very few Grand Seiko watches I really, really like. And then this one had been sold out for like ages ago, like 2016 or some shit like that. And so like finally one came on market, and it's just like so serendipitous because I wasn't even looking for it and it just showed up. I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, no, I'll buy it. I bought a lot of giveaway watches too, though. When those come in, that'll be fun. I stream on Twitch because I know the importance of being on multiple platforms. Who's the least favorite person me and Kate have collabed with? The porn star Adriana Chechik. I don't have anything against the person, but like, I mean, there's a few other problematic ones. Man, I don't really want to talk shit about people, Dude, there is so much. Oh, fuck it. This hatchet has been buried a long time ago, right? It's definitely like, and I have no ill will. It's weird because I understand in some part why this person is this way, but like it was still very grating. So Adriana Chechik is like kind of nuts. Kate invited her on a podcast back when Kate had a podcast, and she was like super excited, and Kate was huge at the time, and then so like she readily accepted, right? And then she didn't get another podcast invite, not because we didn't want to invite her, but because we had so many people to invite that, a second go around on the guest is like, it's going to take a while. And so then she got really mad, and then she hated Kate, even though our last interaction with her was like really good. And then I can't remember what happened. I think it was like she broke her back at TwitchCon, and then Kate announced something like soon thereafter that it has nothing to do with her. I think it might have been something like the gas station thing. It was something, right? And then she accused Kate of stealing her clout from when she was injured. It's like, dude, no one is, what? It was like the craziest thing. I was like, you wanted clout for the injury? But also like, bro, like, you think we just like sat there and be like, oh, Adriana Chek's getting some fucking sympathy. Let's fucking tweet some crazy shit. It's like, bro, who's even thinking like that? Okay? And then I have one about Emiru too. Now, I'm willing to bet, and Kate has no ill will here. I don't even know if Kate remembers this situation. But for me, I was just like, oh, okay. This person has the capability to be duplicitous. And so I should be very, very careful. Or we should be very, very careful. Same thing. The podcast was so dramatic. So she invited Emiru to the podcast, right? And this is like a thing where it's like she invites like 3-4 guests. And that's the format. We invited Emiru, we invited a few other girls. And then the day of the podcast, Emiru messages and says, I saw that this other girl's going to be on the podcast. And we're like, oh yeah. And she goes, I don't get along with her. I think I will just have to skip today's episode. You can book me in the future. And then we said, absolutely, no problem. And then she shot back, seriously? You're just going to let me leave? You're not going to ask her to leave instead? And I was just like, holy fuck. I was like, well, you said you wanted to leave, and so I wanted to give you the option, but you wanted me to, said, no, Amy, you stay, we kick the other person off? Is that what you're asking? She goes, I'm not asking for that. And like that's all that she said. I was like, are you though? Are you? And then after that, she just went and badmouthed Kate for like 6 months to everyone who would listen. The reason I know this is because I heard a twisted version of this story from 5 other fucking girl creators. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this person, man? Like, we innocently booked 3 people. 2 of them have drama, and then one of them opted to bump herself to the next episode. So we graciously accepted. What the fuck did we do wrong? What the fuck did we do wrong? Girl Twitch streamers, dude, there's a whole nother level of cattiness that you guys are not even aware of. Like, good on you for, this sounds so misogynistic. I'm not saying good on you for watching guy streamers. I'm just saying you're lucky that you don't, there's some pettiness, yes. It ain't like the girl game, dude. That shit's like shadow boxing to the 3rd power. Like holy shit, the fucking mind games that go on there. Why do you keep saying fuck Chicken Andy? What does that have to do with anything? No, this is before Mizkif interacted much with Emiru. Before OTK Emiru. This is Cloud9 Emiru. This is early days. I think she might have still been dating that, I don't remember, his name starts with a D. Some gamer. It's strange over there as a woman. Oh, wait, what? Why would you think Adriana Lee? I've never had a bad interaction with Adriana Lee. In fact, I had no interaction with Adriana Lee until she went horseback riding with us. I've played both, but I was mostly Horde. Yeah, Emiru's not... What? What the hell is Andy D? Bro, they're talking about chicken because he was... Oh, my bad. So if you're not leeching off ice, you're lurking in whoever stays in his house. You guys are really protective of Paul, huh? Alinity is not a nice person. You're joking, right? Please tell me you're joking. Because I got some tea. You're kidding, right? You gotta be kidding. There's no way that was serious. Dude, yeah, it just sounds like pandering. I actually like talking to Ice. I like the off-stream discussions even more. He's a cool dude. There's probably like a handful of people in that tier that I like talking to. It's not even about like necessarily learning something. It's just some people, you can tell they're just giving more or less like how they think and feel about something versus like being super guarded and saying like, you know, the boilerplate bullshit. And like almost everyone, you can peel back the onion enough to get to the real opinions, but some people just start there, and that's like really cool. I feel like there's the tell is if they're like putting themselves in a slightly awkward situation for someone else's either comfort or goodwill, right? Like him talking to an Uber delivery driver for 30 minutes or me shopping with the stream sniper and wanting to buy him a jacket. Who are the good ones? What? Do you want to hear the Alinity story? 1 if yes, 2 if no. I'm okay with either way. Okay. So, as a rule of thumb, like because Kate, so you have to understand, like for 8 years or so, I managed is like almost too overarching. It's more so I organized and facilitated like all of Kate's business and communications. Okay, which is not that I, talk to people on her behalf or whatever. It's more so that like I'd be like, this person said this, how do we want to respond? Right? And then if she says not now, I'm doing this thing, okay, fine. Like, day later, how do we respond to this person? How do we respond to this person? This sponsorship deal. It's like basically just making it super consumable for someone in like a 30-minute chunk. Like all the business of a day condensed into 30 minutes, right? And so I talked with these people, all these influencers, way more than she did, right? Either just coordinating or planning or whatever, right? And so Alinity was an interesting one because, she really wanted to have us run her OF at one point. In fact, we did run her OF at one point. The guy she was staying with who was helping her with her OF got arrested because he was like in the streets. This sounds crazy, but he was just allegedly using cocaine in the streets. I was like, okay. And so she was like, he's in jail. No one's running my OF. Can y'all run it? And I was like, and we had an agency at the time. And I was like, yeah, okay, we'll run it. Right? And so we ran the OF for a while. Okay. And then she would ask for collabs and stuff. And so we'd invite her on like, Kate's game shows and stuff like that. And then it was in the back of so we had this big event called Streamer Royale. Right? We sunk $700,000 into it. It's like a American Ninja Warriors for streamers. Unfortunately, here YouTube got banned, but I'm sure there's videos floating around of it. It's like really high production. Lindy wanted to go on that, so we, invited her to that. And then they're moving the influencers from one site to another site, and then they use these like buses, right? And so then the girls are sitting in the back of the bus, like all of these like the biggest girls on Twitch at the time. They're all sitting in the back of the bus, right? And then I'm actually just sitting there quietly within earshot. I'm buried in my notebook, my laptop, just kind of like making sure everything's going okay. But like this story, I couldn't help but hear, and I was just like, what? Okay, I don't know how it started. I don't know what the conversation was. All I heard was Lindy going like this. She was like, it's just so tough. How do I even make a decision here? And then you can tell all the other girls are very reluctant to comment because they're like, well, there's the right thing and there's the shitty thing, And she was like this. One of the events was I believe it was like a jet ski event. Pulling someone on a jet ski or a speedboat, and then they have to stay on top of like the wakeboard thing, right? And so for that one, there's all these lifeguards because you have to have lifeguards for anything like that, right? Even if everyone has a life jacket. And so she's like, yeah, that lifeguard, in the third stand was super fucking cute, but I have a boyfriend. And all the other girls are just kind of like, okay. And then she's just like, I just wish I could like, get with him, but still, have a boyfriend after. And then everyone else is just like they're like side-eyeing, okay. And she's like, oh, I got it. And she picks up her phone and she calls the guy and she starts an argument. Everyone at this point is just like, what the fuck? Okay. And then she goes, fine, we're fucking done. Goes and sleeps with the lifeguard and then makes up with her boyfriend after. Now, I want to illustrate something very clearly. I know people do this, right? Like, this is a thing people do, right? Here's the crazy part. I cannot imagine telling all of your biggest peers, all of the other top girl streamers on Twitch at the time, that was the fucking, villainous plan. Like, how casual of a thing does it have to be for you to just say that to a group of your colleagues? That's what's crazy. It tells me that, holy shit, this must happen a fuck ton. To the point where she's so desensitized that she thinks this is like polite conversation. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. People doing that, surreptitiously, secretly. I bet they do, right? But to fucking wear it on your sleeve like that and not think anything's wrong about that, it's like, who are the good streamers? I mean, the saying, every, sinner has a future, every saint has a past. That's kind of true. XQC is a really good one. The guy tries really hard to do right by his, moral code. And, like, it might not jive with your moral code, but, like, the way I look at it is if someone professes that this is how they look at the world and they actually live by that, well, then I feel like you should judge them on, their own metrics. I think XQC is a really good one. I've had enough ancillary kind of interactions with him, and I've talked to him in the DMs before very recently, that, no, he's a real one. Like, even if he doesn't really like you and he sees, like, you're about to get fucked in a way, like, he kind of, like, puts it on himself to at least give you a heads up, which is pretty cool. He really doesn't like pressuring people, right? Like, I don't know if y'all saw, like, on that Mr. Beast water stream, he was, like, trying so hard not to call any of the people that he only had the contact to to just blindside them with a Mr. Beast is doing a charity and we're live right now. Would you like to donate? Like, I noticed that because I know some of the contacts that are in his phone, and so like he was just like when Mr. Beast like, does anyone have their number? I could tell he was just like, that's a real one, man. Because he could get brownie points from Mr. Beast for being like, oh yeah, I can call Amaranth. Oh yeah, I can call this person. Oh yeah, I can call that person too. Right? I'm telling you, like, I've seen him put himself at detriment enough times to know that, like, you know, like, you might not agree with him. Maybe you don't like his political views. Maybe you don't like the Gamba. But, like, that dude is true to himself. And he's true to people, or at least fair to them, in the way that, you know, he sees the world. I have not heard of Adriano Portelli. Asmon's perfectly fine, too. I think he's pandering a little bit lately. But, I mean, like, if the worst thing someone does is pander a little bit, I mean, like, okay, what are we talking about, right? Are you a content creator? Like, you pander a little bit. A little bit, at least, right? Nate Shot's good. Tim Tapman's good. Nick Merckx, I've never interacted with, so I have no idea. But I'll take your word for it. Nate Shot is good. Nate Shot's a nice guy. Dude, I feel for Nate Shot. You know how much... I remember this. This is crazy, okay? In 2022, 100 Thieves was inviting Kate out to do a bunch of podcasts. Nate Shot was always very friendly, right? And I remember a crazy thing, because like at the time, people were saying 100 Thieves is valued at between $1 and $200 million. And then it became $300 million. This is like during the craziness of COVID, right? And I remember hearing Nate Shot say this thing, and I was like, wait. And that was like the first time I ever realized, holy shit, the amount of money that Kate makes is an outlier even amongst the biggest streamers or streaming orgs in the world. Because at the time, we were blasting out like fucking $2.5 million a month, right? And Nate Shot was interviewing Kate, and he was like, okay, what's the like most outrageous thing you've bought, right? And she was like listing some of the things, and then he kind of chimes in. He goes, as for me, I would love a Rolls Royce, you know, Cullinan, right? I just wish I had the liquidity, you know, that they would IPO or something so that, you know, I could pull the money out to buy that car. And I remember thinking, wait, what? You run a $300 million org and you can't buy a car that you want to buy? What? I could buy 4 of them a month and still not even feel it. I was like, holy shit. Like, that's wild. You know, I also felt the same way when I realized what some of the OTK people had been making over the years. I was like, holy shit, we're not even on the same scale here. Like, what me and Kate built was a money-making machine, right? Like, net revenue from sponsorships and OF and Fansly and the subsequent deals with those platforms grossed, I think we're like at the grossing $115, $120 million range, right? Like, it's actually fucking bonkers. It was so fucking efficient. Best month was ironically the month I got destroyed. October 2022. It turns out, contrary to what you would think, when everyone thinks a girl is being trafficked to do OnlyFans, her OnlyFans sales fucking skyrocket. Explain that one. '22 was the worst year of my life. Not even just for that reason. I got hit by like 4 terrible, terrible life-altering things in fourth quarter of that year. Like in 3 months, I hit 4 like life-changing things. And that's also when I realized, wow, I do not have the capability to be depressed. because I should be like fucking unaliving myself right now. But I was just like, well, why? Like, you know, we'll see what happens, I guess. You know? The very first bird I rescued from, like back when I had my engineering job, I had that bird for like 12 years or something like that. It passed away on Christmas Eve of 22. That was my companion. Like, before Bagon, my current, little birdo, like, this is Derpy. Derpy was the, most kind of well-trained, nice, like, he basically acted like a little puppy. It was a dove, though. You know? And, like, Derpy used to, like, he'd also be able to communicate with me. Like, he could tell me he wanted to take a shower. It's pretty funny. He would just, so, dude, if I turn the shower on, he would go under it before I would, and he'd just look up, and he'd close his eyes, and he'd just, like, fucking take a shower. And so then, like, he learned that if he wanted a shower and I wasn't taking a shower, he could just stand in front of me and pretend like he was taking a shower, and I would just, like, take him into the shower and open the shower for him. It's, like, fucking hilarious. Like, he knew, like, how to communicate, like, 5 different things. Right? The license plate on my Lambo is Derpy. As a memoriam, whatever. Yeah, they got canceled, like, massively. Massively. I thought no one will ever talk to me again. Right? And then, you know, Derpy passed away, and there's like 2 other crazy fucking things. And I was just like, wow, I'm not even like, I mean, I'm devastated, but like, I'm not, I don't know. I'm just not really seeking an out, I guess. I'm just like, okay, like, you know, can't get worse than this, you know. Literally, I had nothing but money by the end of 22. Fake the break-in shooting. Yeah, I mean, like, those guys are about to get hit for 5 to 99 on 2 counts at least. And they're about to plea out and take 20, 30-year sentences, but sure, you know, think about how much money I had to pay to fucking get them to take that kind of fall. You know what I'm saying? No, don't stay the night at Whataburger. Get a hotel, man. Did you... Ah, fuck. Where's my phone? Get a hotel, bro. Don't spend the night at a Whataburger. Shit, did you try to call me or what? Oh, no. My dad tried to call me. Weird. Just get a... Oh. No, dude. I didn't see your text. My bad. Just do the $200 one, man. Yeah, do the $200 one. It's a write-off. It's fine. I mean, you're gonna be here for a couple of days, right? So like, might as well get a place where you can be well rested. Listen, Ice says he doesn't like people who smell. So get the hotel and take the shower. Not that you smell, you don't. I'm just saying. And say you paid them to stage that. They're not going to do that because they're all going to plea out. You don't understand how dominating it is to have multiple camera angles for every second they were on property. Like how fucking absolutely damning it is. No one's going to even try that. I wish they went to trial, you know? Yeah, I can send you money first if you want, or just let me know how much it costs and I'll send it to you. Did all those home invasion retards get hit or they got, what? Retards? Oh, no. All 3 gunmen arrested. The getaway driver also arrested. All 4 captured within a week. I shot one. He was in the hospital. They knew where to find him. They stayed back and they observed him and saw who talked to him and intercepted the calls. And then it was actually pretty epic. What they told me was when they had located all 3 of the other ones not in the hospital, it was like in the movies. Like they had 5 teams of 5 deployed to all 3 of their houses across Houston, and they hit them all within 5 minutes because they didn't want one to get arrested and the other to go into hiding. And so they fucking like synchronized it to where they hit all 3. It's like fucking out of like what's that Sicario shit, right? I'm not big on flavored cigars. It was like fucking Sicario, right? I was like, holy shit, I'm a fucking baller. I know a very high-ranking Houston PD person. Like, it's gonna be the craziest prosecutor. It's gonna be the craziest judge. Like, those guys are gonna get the fucking book thrown at them. Yeah, exactly. I will buy a robot eventually. Absolutely. I already have a robot dog. Of course you're not gonna find a video of me shooting them. The only person who has even ancillary footage of that, in terms of like the closest camera angle, so you see them after they got shot, would be the police. But like, I mean, you see the recordings after when they're exiting and the guy's bleeding all over the driveway, you know, and he literally goes, he's chanting, I got shot, I got shot, I got shot, I got shot, like a fucking metronome. Oh, dude, you have no idea. I'm the type of person who I would probably, like, gingerly put a spider outside. I don't like killing things. But that night, if I had them in my mercy, I would have curb stomped them all. You know? Like it was, I'm gonna be honest with you, I never knew how I'd react in that situation. Yeah, I don't think anyone really does. People will say that they'll act a certain way, but like, until you get there, you have no idea. No, absolutely. Just fucking, you know, jaws fucking smashed. I know some people in, especially Texas, seem to have that fantasy. I've never had that fantasy, but now having been through it, I can understand it. I feel like it's more. It usually hits people who are more angsty, and generally don't have that much stuff like, because like, I was so busy that I didn't have fucking time to even fantasize about something like that, you know? Do I have a bayonet on one of my shotguns? It's pretty funny. Your wife loves to see that. It's cool. Pigeons and doves really like sitting on people's heads for some reason. Bro, they're all going to plea out. What part of that don't you understand? Also, what part of it's all on videotape do you not understand? I would own a gray, but it would outlive me at this point. Oh boy, I've already told stories about Fandy and gotten in trouble. Dude, you want to hear the craziest thing? When I told a story about Fandy, instead of Fandy in my DMs yelling at me or emailing me, Fandy goes and yells at Kate and sends crazy DMs saying, you need to get your fucking man in check. I'm like, who's being controlled here, me or her? Now, dude, Fandy and them would probably be like, oh, we had an NDA. But it's like, bro, you realize for contract to be binding, you have to actually, do your part of it. Which in their case, they're the clients. Because we ran her OF. They would have needed to pay the consideration, which is the money. They skipped out on every single payment. We didn't get a dime from them. And we ran their shit for months. And so I can say whatever the fuck I want because you didn't close the contract. There's no consideration. There's no consideration. You have to give me the money, and then now I'm bound by the terms. You never gave me the money. The contract never closed. Wild stories there. We'll tell one just for fun. This is a minor one, but still interesting. Running Fanny's account and then running some of the other girls that were living with her and had that weird kind of situationship with Fanny's guy, right? This is like a number of years ago. And I remember the craziest thing happened, which I realized, wow, these people are fucking... Like, I can't even imagine living this way. The girl, who I won't name, who was rooming with Fanny, and they're supposed to be really good friends, and sometimes she was filming with Fanny's guy also, right? She came to us and said, by the way, can we change my account passwords? And we're like, yeah, sure, what's wrong? She goes, there's people in my household that are logging into my OF. I was like, but it's just Fandy and... What? Like, there's some weird fucking craziness going on. Like, Brian would check the other girls' OFs or some shit. Like, I was like, what the fuck is happening here? And then Brian came and he said, like, why'd you change your password? I was like, what? You call me the pimp? I'm a market maker. I was like, what is happening here? Like, it was such a radioactive situation. I was like, what? Like, someone explain to me what the fuck is going on in this household. Because you have one person saying, why'd you change the password? The other person saying, it's my account, I want to change the password. I'm like, can y'all talk to each other or some shit like that? What the fuck's happening here? This is not my thing. Take us back, bro, this timeline ass. This is just a Cigars International house brand. I got it because it was a value cigar, and it's actually pretty good. I needed a cigar I could smoke inside and get kicked out, or have to put the cigar out and not, because Cubans are so fucking hard to get now. I have Cubans upstairs, but that's just for enjoyment. Biggest mistake I've made in business. I have a tendency to... It's funny because, like, after I met Paul, I was like, holy shit, that guy really moves fast. I don't move as fast as Paul, but I make up for it because, unlike him, at least for a number of years, I never stopped or rested. Right? I didn't take a vacation. I didn't take a day off. I don't even think I took an hour off. Right? Now, I did enjoy my work, so there's something to be said about that. But, like, I was grinding all the time. And while I didn't move the fastest, if you're working all the time, you're still, like, running laps around people. But, and here's the sad part is, like, I never would have been in a position to see that I was making the mistake until after. So this is a hindsight thing. But it's like, the whole reason I got canceled in 22, like, I mean, like, it sounds really crazy, kind of like how Hassan caused a robbery, kind of meandering tale. But, like, when we were doing the OF agency, we needed to slow down. Like, we were moving too fast, hiring too fast, signing clients too fast, and revenue was growing. That one not too fast, but very fast. Like, we were doubling the size of the company month over month, like in revenue and headcount. And it just hit a breaking point to where, like, I can pretty comfortably sleep 5 or 6 hours a day forever. I just don't need that much sleep. But during that time, I remember there's a 72-day stretch where I slept 2 or 3 hours a day. Tensions were running high, and then that culminated in Kate canceling me, the agency imploding, right? Because you have the abuser basically, running the thing, and that's untenable. Even though I don't think I've ever, the way that she painted that was like, maybe it had fidelity with how she felt, but it didn't have fidelity with the actual facts and reality of anything, right? And media was only too ready to eat it up and spin their own tales. I've heard that I traffic. I've heard that I forced her to do OF against her will. I've heard that I've made her wear clothing that was skimpier. I've said this before. I've never once, ever asked her to wear less clothing. I've actually only ever asked her to wear more. And many times she didn't listen to me, and she would catch a ban immediately. Like, that's the craziest part. Like, she embellished it for sure, because, like, I was like, wait, what? I've never asked you to wear less. What do you fucking? I'm the arbiter of, like, don't get banned, play it safe. Like, are you kidding me, dude? You push the fucking boundaries. But she wanted, I guess, to clean slate her thing, and it's just like, oh no, this bad guy is making me do it. He's making me do it. I'm an innocent girl. It's like, that's not true. We were Bonnie and Clyde, right? I never, I'll say some nevers. Never threatened her dog. I've never asked her to do any action that she's uncomfortable with, and I've never asked her to wear less clothing. I can keep going. Never. Not once. In fact, I'd kind of preempted that, like, I wanted to make it so that I was beyond reproach. And so for the year, for 21 and most of 21 and all of 22, I wasn't in any way in the workflow that was her OF content or anything. She had staff storyboarding every video, the strategy for every month. I trained those staff, but I gave no marching orders from late 21 through 22. And so it's physically impossible for me to be pressuring her to do actions, because I don't even know if fucking actions are done. The girls would draft something, and Kate would check with the ones that she was down with, and everything else was discarded. And so, like, I don't understand. It's a mistake because all of it culminated from moving too fast and making the wheels fall off the bus, right? I mean, if you hear the business strategy, I think it was pretty brilliant. The execution was, the only flaw was that it was too fast. But we'd always move fast. So that's why I said, like, there's no way I would have seen that coming. Because everything we did was to just grind and take the step as soon as it was available to us. Oh yeah, no, I probably, like, shot myself in the foot to the tune of an extra 100 million or so. Dude, I thought, look, I'm tooting my own horn here, but it was a fucking brilliant strategy. You know what the strategy was? Kate was one of the top OF girls in the world, if not the top. And so everyone wanted some of our Stardust. And so we were basically selling our agency and management services as, like, essentially us selling that Stardust. And every girl that Kate collabed with in 21 and 22 was someone who we managed their OF. And if you look at the list of people who she collabed with, it's like everyone. And the idea was we could use the collabs as currency to secure additional clients. And it was such a great thing because it was like, okay, this person's starting an OF. Okay, we're going to launch their OF. Okay, they're going to hang out with Kate and do a hot tub party. And the most brilliant part about it was Kate was also getting the publicity bump from every single client we signed, every single launch event. So we were scratching our own back, scratching their back. And they saw us scratching our own back and their back as currency that they were being essentially paid in, is what they were, evaluating it like in terms of value proposition. And so we were getting paid to sign clients essentially. It was a perpetual motion machine. Pete, Charles, and Kate. Fuck it. Pete, Charles, and Kate used to get along really well. And the entire popular content creator girl enclave turned against Kate after the infamous trans comments, which I think was mostly a nothing burger, especially Pete Charles. Pete Charles and Kate were friendly, and Kate actually thought she had a real friend in Pete Charles, but I've always told Kate, like, listen, I mean, you've heard Paul say this. I would argue that for guy streamers, it's still a good rule of thumb, but it's not as absolute. And I would say for girl streamers, it is absolute. You have no friends. It's called show business, not show friends. You have no friends. These are work friends. They're not your real friends. I would tell Kate, those aren't your real friends. Those aren't your real friends. Those aren't your real friends. Kate didn't believe it until Peach Jars stabbed her in the back. I was like, dude, what did I tell you? I haven't told her, don't DM Peach Jars. She's just going to leak it. And it happened. I was like, dude, you don't understand. These aren't your friends. They're friends of expediency. They're friends that are friends with you when you're huge and they have something to benefit. They're not your friends. I think it's mostly true for guy streamers with rare exception. Like, I feel like XQC's streamer friendships are real, right? I hope Paul has at least a few real ones, but I don't know who they would be. And what I mean by that is, like, it's not that someone has nothing to gain from you. It's the litmus test for me is that, like, would they choose a route that was a detriment to them for the sake of the friendship? Right? That's the test. Because, obviously everyone benefits from collabing and stuff like that. It's not about whether they have benefit from you. It's about whether they're willing to take the L for you. And if they're not, then that's not a real friend. It's a friendship of expediency and economic upside. Dude, Ice and AC7 probably have a real friendship. It's just very chaotic. I sit there sometimes like, which way is this going? I can't tell sometimes, man. I'm still such a neophyte to this whole space that half the time I can't even tell if this is a bit or not. Yeah. Yep. Kate was a real one with Justin Minks. Actually, Justin Minks, I think, is also another fucking chaotic person, but also, like, for all her faults, she is not fake. Dude, Justin Minks is facetiously fucking yelled at me a bunch of times. I think it's facetious. Shit. Listen, the very first time I got to actually interact with Ice, my entire chat was like, stream it, stream it, stream it. It'll get like 5,000 viewers. And I was like, I don't think so. And then I guess Ice was watching, or you guys told him because y'all were in my chat. because then he texted me right when I got here. And he was like, you can stream it if you want. And I was like, what? I can't even imagine being okay with streaming a conversation that's supposed to be somewhat personal. I ended up not streaming it though. And I really enjoyed I enjoy the streamed conversations as well. But sometimes it's cool to actually like hear the part that doesn't have to pay any homage to being interesting. Who the hell's the Yellow King? What reason do you come around ice? I just like, hanging out and the friendship, honestly. Nick, did Mahiga and Kate ever collab? The thing is, I know everything about Val Delphine, and I also can answer the Mahiga question, but just as a capstone, like there are very few people who I find interesting enough that like I feel like for a very long time now I've been pretty satisfied with where I'm at financially, and I really don't feel like in most cases when I meet someone I have any desire to mine that relationship for value. Like I can't even remember the last time I felt that way. It probably was back in my investment banking days. And so, and in the same way, like I give a lot of free value, even professionally, right? Like a guy came to haul one of my cars. And he was like, "Oh, you do social media?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "I will, refund you the cost of this transport if you help me with my business. Like, look at my Instagram, see what I could do better. Look at, these socials. What about my SEO?" And I told him, you know what? This is kind of an interesting space. I'll just look at it for free. I'll still pay you for this transport. Because I really believe that, like, look, if I only ever made money through Kate's OF, it would be enough. And so I try not to penny pinch and extract revenue whenever I can get it, because it doesn't make sense. It's not going to mean anything at the end of the day. It's just like such minute sums, even if they're like notionally big. And so I've always found that when you give goodwill, it always comes back. Maybe not from the same person, but life has a funny way of paying you back for goodwill you just kind of inject into the world. And so I don't see, look, clearly I have something to gain because just going on the Big Ben trip like dramatically changed the trajectory of my streaming. But like I would have gone on that trip even if none of it was streamed, and even if I didn't grow at all, it would still be just as memorable and fun. So it's kind of like a happy bonus that both were achieved. But I have no misgivings that lightning will strike twice per se. So you have to understand that like the main thing that I probably have to chase away is losing the sense of novelty. And at least for the time being, hanging out with AC7, whether alone or in an RV, with Ice and a bunch of CX streamers, that is absolutely an adventure that, like, how do I get that experience anywhere else? It's novel, it's different, it's fun. Yeah. I just don't. The reason why streamers hang out with streamer friends so much is because, especially if they do IRL stuff. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's not that bad. It just looks really bright because of light pollution, I guess. You have to hang out with streamer friends because all your regular friends have jobs and lives and kids and shit, right? Where else am I going to find a bunch of dudes to go on a week-long trip to Big Bend on a random lark and then fucking end up in a Holocaust museum listening to a crazy old guy telling tales? Also, did y'all I don't know if anyone ever 100% confirmed it, but would it be creepy if that Marfa dude in the museum, if his wife wasn't alive? Because if you go look him up, there's an article that talks about how his wife passed away in early 25. Do you remember when y'all were spamming him, or someone was troll calling him at the right beginning of our tour? The very first thing he said was, "Oh, that's just my wife calling me to tell me there's some things I shouldn't say." Right? Like that's what the gist of what he said. And at the time, you're like, okay, yeah, like I mean, like you're probably like got some, kind of crazy stories, so your wife's telling you to tone it down. But then it's just like, wait, your wife isn't. Who do you think is calling you? From where? Huh? You let your girl ban people from the chat. Logs exist, slow bro. Well, if she's banned anyone, you gotta let me know, because she's not supposed to do that without talking to me. And I called her out on it once today, but I mean, I don't know until y'all tell me, because half the time I'm rambling and I'm not like super paying attention to like. Also, I don't even know if this fucking phone shit shows that someone gets banned. I have to be on desktop, right? Yeah, but finding her Facebook means she's alive? Three issues I'm working on with Kate. Did that light just turn on? Working on identifying when either of us is emotionally peaked, and to be able to de-escalate from that. That's one thing. Another thing is just communication and priority resolution, in terms of like, she's always getting on me lately for like, oh, you're prioritizing your stream way too much over, valid concerns sometimes, and other times less valid. And so we're trying to work through the pecking order of, how, we can understand each other's priority stack, essentially. That's the probably tougher one. And then third one, navigating how we get to the lifestyle that we, how we navigate to our goal lifestyle, which she wants a big piece of acreage out in the middle of nowhere. I'm down, but like I have certain stipulations of like, okay, but it needs to be like within this distance of an airport and shit like that. I don't want to be actually like driving 8 hours to get to a city. That's nuts. But that's like a longer term thing. That's like, putting the cart in front of the horse right now, honestly. What the fuck? So Maya, Higa, and Kate, the relationship is non-existent. They were friendly at one point. Kate did 2 stints of volunteer work at Alveus, and congrats to Maya for pulling off the next phase. It's honestly fantastic. But ironically, it was employee retardation that caused the relationship to kind of cease to be. This was TwitchCon 23. They were cool up until then. Maya's pretty close with Cutie. Cutie hates Kate now. But Maya was mostly okay. And then at TwitchCon 23, I had 2 employees who are no longer with us. One was named Angelica, right? Which, the viewers who have been here for a while know about that story. And the other one was Jacob, who I'm suing. And that motherfucker's about to owe me $100,000 on December 1st. I'm not suing for this reason, just something way later. But, they were both there, and they were helping Kate at TwitchCon 23. And so Jacob was holding the camera, and he was pointing it at Kate. And then Maya's meet and greet was in the background. And so Maya, like, sent Kate a DM, which is, like, I think kind of silly. I think you could just walk over and talk to the person. But she sent Kate a DM on Twitter that said, "Hey, your camera, has me in line of sight, and some of the chat comments about me I don't really like. So if you could just change the camera angle a little bit, that'd be great." And so then Angelica, who often helps Kate organize her correspondences, didn't tell Kate, but told Jacob, which is fine. And so then Jacob shifted the camera view ever so slightly, and now she's not in frame. 5 minutes after that, Jacob needed to go to the bathroom, so he gave Angelica the camera. Angelica forgets about that and puts it in the original camera angle, which has Maya in view. And then this time, Maya messages again and be like, "Hey, like I've talked about that, blah, blah." And then, Angelica just forgot, or decided not to respond because it's so awkward. And so it just looked like, despite her saying a couple times that she didn't want that, like it just kept being that, and then no one did anything. But Maya didn't realize that not one time was Kate in the loop with this conversation, because we have staffers running both the stream, camera and the fucking DMs. So through these two people not being able to fucking figure out something simple or communicate, I'm pretty sure she's like still pissed about that. No, no. My Jacob isn't even spelled in the same way as that Jacob. I'm in contact with the OTK Jacob guy that Ice put me into touch with. Stop letting her run my stream. No, I run my own stream. It's just that, like, for instance, today we're at Ren Fair. She would have preferred me to not stream it and just hang out with family. But that thing I told Ice earlier, where I think personal branding is the next wave, I believe that. And I think it's kind of a dynastic thing, which sounds crazy, but I feel like the best thing I can do is try to figure out either A, the ropes of how this all works, or B, actually, become a fairly big streamer, because I think that is it's like Hollywood nepotism, right? It's directors' kids being actors, it's actors' kids being directors, right? I think it's going to be influencers' kids working behind the scenes in a business capacity, and vice versa. It's going to just be all intermingled and, full of nepotism. And I don't look at the world for how it ought to be. I always look at it for how it is, and that's how it is. I don't think she thinks that. I think of the people I hang out with, I think she is way more at ease when I'm hanging out with Ice than like almost any other streaming person. It's all about relative. I don't know if I believe she's banned over 500. That'd be kind of insane. Lifetime, I've only banned like 3 people, and 2 of those are lifted by me. I think she'll be fine with chili. I don't think she'll have a problem with that. I mean, ironically, if I go to Chile with Ice for a month, it's the longest we've been apart for our entire relationship. Like, I tell people that, like, sure, we're married for, like, firecrackers, right? I'm a Ice side character. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, what do you mean what I do for my own content? I'm going to start a number of podcasts and shows pretty soon. Get the strap. Bro, that dude has like 30 fucking rounds in a mag of probably like an AK-47 or some shit, man. I don't know about that. Yeah, I know. Homie pulled out something. Bro, how the fuck I do look it up? I'm fucking illiterate. Tell my mod how I fucking look it up, and they can look it up and tell me. How the fuck do I look it up? I'm on the phone. I don't think I can look it up right now. I'll look it up later. How about that? Oh shit, now I hear police sirens. So I guess it was, huh. Holy fuck. Someone just got Swiss cheesed. I would love to make, I think Joe Rogan has the most enviable, structure to his content. Like, I would love to have access to, like, an endless number of, like, interesting people or important people within their respective fields, and just be able to pick their brain. That sounds like fucking heaven. Yeah, Rogan has the best job. Yeah, no, he's nice. Bro, I was gonna freak the fuck out if I saw someone's face just pressed against the bar. Wait, Ms. Kiff. Oh, I see. I think she'll get over it pretty soon, if not already. Bro, I'm gonna see like 30 holes in my Rolls Royce tomorrow. Like 2-ish. I haven't smoked any today yet. I probably will get a small spot in Austin if I launch that podcast. I need to pitch it to AC7. Hell, even if I don't, if he doesn't want to and I just have to do my own, I might just get a studio in Austin. No, I'm not gonna go out and look at my fucking car right now. Have I always been wealthy? Not exactly. I grew up very poor, and I was able to make 500K before all the influencer stuff and before I was age 25. Somewhat due to luck, somewhat due to a business I started in college. Oh, I don't mind being new money at all, man. I kind of embrace it. That's why I buy bullshit like this. I actually enjoy this. It's me being true to myself, right? Instead of like looking like, whoa, is that a classy watch? I'm like, fuck it, I like it, it's cool. I don't give a fuck, dude. I think being new money is like a badge of honor nowadays. It's just old money's attempt at trying to maintain frame control, right? If you look at it, wealth generally springs about in nascent but rapidly maturing industries. And, you know, the legacy economy prior to that thing, you know, rising to prominence is basically losing its sense of relevancy, you know, like the sense of order that they feel the world should be organized in. And so they use like things like, you know, separating old money, new money, you know, as a way to try to differentiate themselves, I think. I'm Jewish. I get an allowance from Kate It's about 200K a week. I've told her before that I need it to be raised to 300K a week. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to keep up my RM buying spree. I think AC7 will probably stay in Austin, but we'll see. I'd love to do one with Ice. I just don't know. I think he's being nice. Like, I don't know if he wants a commitment like that. That'd be pretty cool too. I loved watching that old episode of Wreckful interviewing Ice. I don't know if CX Town's happening. I don't know if he's moving to Colorado. I'll talk to him next time I see him. But even so, like what? You don't think I have access to a fucking airplane or what? I'll fly to Colorado. It's fine. I think me and him are very interesting in that we're like, it's not like we're opposites. It's just that like our life experiences are polar opposites. Like I feel like I understand the business stuff, and some of the more refined things. And I'm not saying that in any way. I'm just saying like I like watches, I like cars. I can converse fairly, competently on those subjects. Business, philosophy, I can do all that, right? I think he has a wealth of knowledge that you can only acquire through experience. And so it's like book smart, street smart, right? Highbrow versus low to the ground, right? Like I'm absolutely ignorant about so much of music and drugs and any of that stuff, right? It's just knowledge, not knowledge that I have. I feel like he supplements the things that I'm not able to talk about, and I do the same for him. So it's just like a ability to increase both of our ranges, and hopefully through osmosis we kind of get some of each other's strengths. What are you talking about? I don't know anything about music and drugs. Well, we'll see how it goes. Dude, that'd be really fun. Ski content. Ski lodge. You think that's me bad-mouthing them? Which part? I feel like you're the one who's showing how you regard, what they themselves profess to be. I'm just saying, man, like, can you honestly say they raised efficient kids? I'm not saying that they went out of their way to not. I'm saying that I feel like if you instill a sense of fate or fatalism to whether someone can have to whether someone has any efficacy in their own life outcomes, I mean, how do you get to anything other than kids who just accept whatever may come? You want people to have a belief that they have some agency or locus of control in their own lives. And ceding it all to religion, I don't think is the right way to do that. You can do both if you really want to, right? Like, I feel like even other interpretations of Christianity would say that you have a lot of efficacy in what you end up doing. That'd be cool. Yeah, sorry. Belle Delphine. What do you want to know about Belle Delphine? I think when she rose to prominence, and I'm not saying this is a determining factor. I'm just saying it's an incidental one. I want to say her boyfriend slash guy she was with worked at like Omnicom or one of those like super huge advertising firms. So there's probably some industry chops going on, but she's just really good at creating like very controversial viral content. Remember at one point she started fucking out engaging the fucking Kardashians. I think they were the first people to hit $1 million a month on OF. And then Belle had asked Kate to collab and for us to fly out to London, and we were down. And then she kind of got cold feet and disappeared after the porn video. Came back a few years later, then disappeared again. I think they just made their money, and she kind of got the outcome that she wanted in life, and so then they're just not really that obsessed about the grind anymore. Bro, you gotta shut the fuck up, man. I don't give a fuck. I don't think so, because I don't believe that the Christian God would want you to just drift through life taking what you get. I don't think that jives with most of, what is understood. What do you mean you wired the money for Dayjust? Adopting Nick White. Yeah, dude, I'll do Boatin. I'm talking to Captain Gee, but, Thanksgiving. I don't know, man. I feel like I get everyone wants to think the best of their parents, but like, I mean, what do you think? I mean, it's too small sample size, obviously, right? But I don't even know if Caitlyn understands how much work me and her put into the early innings of our relationship. I feel like she has to look back and realize that, like, she, literally went from caterpillar to, metamorphose into an actual butterfly, right? Like, her life when I met her and her life now and her sense of efficacy and ability to impact the world, through imposing her will is so much stronger. You don't have to say that was me, but regardless, that change happened. I don't think she's ungrateful. I think she just, as most people do, have a sense of pride, and sometimes that makes it hard to have the conversation. Answer the question. What was the fucking question? Why don't I believe in Vishnu? I don't fucking know. I was in finance. I was in engineering before Emma. I don't think of myself as a philosopher. I think of myself as a practitioner and someone who occupies a space in reality. I tried to introduce ICE to my real estate guy. I don't know if they've talked yet. Emma was kind of working for a Princess Party, like a character performing company. She was making like 20 to 30K a year, maybe. I don't think Hassan made my 2022 situation worse, but I don't think I could discern whether he did or not. It was too overwhelming. Oh, I wasn't responding to that comment at all. Pooped my pants off, but you might be referring to someone else right now. I don't know about that. Kate's biggest flaw. I think not communicating adequately. My biggest flaw. I know exactly what it is. I just don't know how to put it into words very well. I mean, the colloquial thing would be like having a hard time letting things go. But I feel like that's also one of my better traits too. It's the other, it's the other side of the coin that is perseverance, right? Yeah, I mean, if you can't see that I helped build her to what she is today, I mean, fair, but you just don't know her or me that well. I have a huge chip on my shoulder about a certain thing. I don't know if I'm ready to share that yet. Fuck it. I'll be real with you guys. I've said this before. I've stopped saying it because it's not the only reason anymore. It's not even the most burning reason. But the whole reason I started streaming was because I had a chip on my shoulder. I don't care what most people think. And by and large, most people who are close to me have generally the right idea about how mine and Kate's relationship dynamic work. But there's two people in my life who have absolutely no understanding. And in fact, I think they tend to think that I'm lucky that I met Kate. And I won't say who those are, but they're like two people who are very close to me. And so part of it was, the chip on my shoulder was to prove that I could stream and be a big streamer too. As, infantile as that sounds. Because I think I can. I just never wanted to do it. Hey, what's up, John D? Yeah, I said Kate's biggest fault is inadequate communication, and mine is obsession bordering on, not being able to let things go. I heard the residual of the Cop Rubs interaction. Like, I have a really good friend of mine that I really think is very smart, and I value his opinion. But I can tell when he was giving me advice, which is still good advice, the gist of it was basically, what the fuck are you doing? Like, staying with Kate is the best option that you have. The thing that you're doing with streaming, that ain't ever gonna happen, was the gist of it. Way more nicely said. But I remember thinking like, wait, why can't I? I feel like I could figure it out. I feel like I could do it still, even though it's super competitive and saturated now. And that was the initial genesis for why I even really tried. Hey, what's up? Thanks for following, Ziam Chapo. I haven't had Addy today. What? Y'all were bitching at me earlier when I was driving up. Like, oh, you're getting so tired, you should take your Adderall today. Knowing that I didn't take it because I didn't originally have any, like, work planned. This is me not on Adderall for, like, 48 hours. Jesus Christ, loan them a gun. I'd rather just give him money to buy a gun. Tinder is how we met. I've forgiven her for all of the 2022 bullshit. I've forgiven her for all of the more recent stuff after the robbery and while she had a PTSD episode. Is there trouble in paradise? No, this is the best we've been ever in our relationship. Even during the honeymoon phase. The last couple of months have been the best. What? No, I'm just trying to parse it for you guys. The relationship isn't transactional unless you consider all relationships to be transactional. There's a give and a take, but it's not calculated. It's a rough heuristic. Of course I get insecure, but... So I have a huge advantage. Okay? And I can't talk about this too much without violating some privacy for me and Kate, but like... I have like 0% doubt that Kate would ever cheat on me because of desire or lust for someone else. And I won't go into why I know that to be true. But I would say that ironically or comically, the only reason I could see her cheating on me is to literally piss me the fuck off. And I don't know why, but on some level I'm just like, eh. It's just a fucking misguided, like, overly ridiculous, if it even happens, ever, like, in the remote possibility that it, even could happen, it would be to piss me off, not because she has genuine desire for someone else. It does make it feel like, I mean, I'm not getting over anything, I'm just saying that, like, it would make it feel way more understandable than the opposite. I don't know. Holy fuck, I scared the fuck out of myself. I blew a puff of smoke here and it's just kind of lingering, and for a second I was like, wait, is there someone there? This is like this lingering puff of smoke. It's not that I don't think she could be attracted to anyone else. It's that I don't... She is, more so than any person I've ever met, someone who's attracted to emotional attachment. And then, at the same time, she hasn't really made emotional attachments with anyone except me, essentially, due to proximity and length of time spent together. And so I don't feel like there's any upshot. And she's never expressed, like, genuine lust or desire, in a way that is in any way competitive with, like, kind of our attraction for each other. But I could absolutely see her being like, quote unquote, petty and trying to get back at me or make me angry, etc. Sure. What about my personal assistants? I don't even know what you're trying to ask. Does she get jealous if I talk to females? Not really. Generally, I know what annoys her, and so I'm able to sidestep it. Generally. I don't know. I'm genuinely more attracted to her than anyone else I've ever been with, And so there's no issue there, I guess. But at the same time, I don't know, guys are naturally curious, we'll just say. Like, I know it's not something she would ever understand, in the sense of, like, I mean, look, let's be real for a second, okay? I feel like if a girl cheats, like actually cheats, like steps out in the middle of a relationship, it is because she is losing love or affection or closeness with the guy she's in a relationship with. I think guys are fully capable of stepping out, and it means nothing. I think it's a biological thing. I'm not saying it's right, not saying it's fair in any way. I'm just saying biologically, I think that's how people are wired. Right? Now, I know she would not understand that, and so I don't venture anywhere near there, if that makes sense. She's losing interest? What? No, it's like, I'm not losing anything right now, especially on this fucking streaming grind, because I'm too busy to even... I feel like more so than anything else, even our mine and Kate's emotional intimacy is like competing in a sense with time spent doing other things, because we lead such densely packed lives. Huh. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, look, relationships have seasons and phases. I would stick it out and see where it takes you. We've been good, we've been bad. We've been close, we've been less close. Right now, me and Kate are at the best part we've been at in maybe forever. I was running business shit or doing investments or, going to conferences or places to meet people who do those things. I've run the OF before, but I haven't run the OF in a very, very long time. What? Oh. Did it change plans 12 times? No, that's cool. You have to understand that I love hanging out with Ice because of... Dude, that dude has so much fucking energy and ideas. It's kind of nice. Listen, even with Kate, I've always been the type of person where I don't like picking the direction. You pick the direction, and I march. I like that. And it's weird because I'm not afraid of critical thinking, but I don't want to pick the direction. Like Ice in this Moise's Borat movie thing, I never would have come up with that because I'd be indecisive. I'd be like, well, I don't know if I want to do this. What if I want to do something else? I like that someone just picks the thing and then we just do the thing. I can still be creative and critically think, through that. And that's always been my thing. Like, there's a reason why Kate picked our current house and why she picked the decor in the house. I'm the type of person who would rather just, disagree but commit. But in most cases, I don't even disagreeable. I'm just like, okay, let's do that. I just like doing the thing. I don't care what it is, for the most part. It's beta mentality. I mean, listen, that's just how I've always been. I don't think it's alpha or beta. I think it just is idiosyncratic to me. I was not jealous when she did OF. I'm not sure why I would be. Am I submissive in bed? I don't even understand where that conclusion is drawn from. You think this is an escape from my wife? No, it's a change of pace from the life that I've been leading for a while. I can always go back to that in a second, right? But this is fun. This is different. I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah. I do say this though, like while we were at Big Ben, I did enjoy him being like, hold the camera up higher, blah 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 blah. Like, streaming. If you ever feel comfortable while IRL streaming, then you're not doing all that you could be doing. I love the boot camp mentality. I know when someone has more knowledge in a field than me, and like I have no issue with being the student. Nick, I've always wondered how it went from just hot tub streaming to the dildo stuff. Wait, uh, what? What? That's not even the fucking... None of that comment and the assertions around it are valid. Like, the premise of that question is wrong. What? But my marriage is at the best it's ever been. It's also why I feel so liberated and guilt-free for, coming out or, potentially going to Chile or the Big Ben thing. This is the best it's ever been. I don't see any work that needs to be done at home in that sense. And so it's way more easier to just, enjoy myself in the moment. Fuck my KPP. Shit, I'm not on the KPP couch. I've tried modafinil way back. Yeah, she can visit. She might. No one said she wouldn't. I drink coffee. What brand for sheets? I don't know. Whatever Kate buys, I guess. I'll try to cut it off at 3 a.m. That's my normal sleeping time. But even sleeping at 3, I'd be up by 8 or 9. So I have to kill another 3 hours until ice is up.
Anonymous just tipped $10. I wouldn't spend 10 on this if it wasn't important. The monkey's channel was graped in Houston last night. Can you help him? It's on Twitter. CX.
The monkey's channel? The monkey's channel was graped in Houston. What? I'm still trying to make sense of that. What are we... Oh. Graped? Channel was graped? What the fuck does that mean? Is channels banned? Use Zoomers in your fucking language, bro. I barely comprehend, but let me see what I can... The monkey... Oh shit, that's misspelling. Oh boy, what the fuck is this? Where can I find out more? Where can I find out the reason? I mean, it looks like he's just gonna take a month ban, which would suck, but... I searched into X, I just... Wait, why? What's on Aiden's stream starting at 22 minutes? What was said? Yeah, I gotta fucking... I'm looking on Twitter, I see it banned, but like, I don't know how I can watch the clip. Because the channel's banned. Oh, is this... Nope, that's not from the right date. I see it 7 hours ago. But I don't know how to see it because the channel's gone. Interesting. Interesting. Who's this? V2? Wait, what the fuck is he talking about? Oh, weird. Huh. Weird deal in my inbox. I would not want to watch a guy get head from another head. I'm very straight. I have no issue with people who are gay, but I just... There's no attraction there. If I suck someone else's dick, it'd be platonically. As a straight man. Not enjoying any moment of it. I don't think I've actually met Joel. OnlyFans. I'm better than Ammo now? What do you mean? So good. Alright, I get it. I get it. You want me to make an OnlyFans to prove that I can do it. I'm reading chat right now. What are you talking about? Oh shit, the bitrate's real low. Because I'm fucking retarded. Oh no! See, I'm fucking retarded, guys. I'm very fucking retarded about streaming. You're gonna have to just yell at me for angles and bitrate and shit like that. Okay, I gotta piss, but I'll be right back. If you see... Oh no, I should go on. If you see any faces, text me. I don't want to get snuck up on. Oh, good. Yeah. Should not have gone after that cigar. I don't know why. Oh shit, I forgot the battery still. I don't know why I enjoy hanging out with you guys so much. I've never really had a desire to get anything off my chest before. But it's fun to be able to talk to people. Like, almost like at the touch of a button. I don't know how to quit you. There we go. Plugged in. I don't know what y'all are talking about right now. I Nick's naked behind me. My chat's very gay. No, no, no. It's the inflow of people who are gay. Oh, this is navy. I'm actually, well, the pants are black, but everything here is like midnight or navy. It just looks black in this yellow light. What are you talking about? I don't know any Octavia Red. No one in CX knows about anything like that either. And let's keep it that way. Oh, thank you. Wait, what? Who? Okay, when you say raped the channel, you just mean reported it, right? Oh, Cohiba's fucking fantastic, especially if they're from Cuba. Never heard of Octavia. But he actually got raped? The guy got raped, but then he got banned? Well, I was gonna smoke only 2, but then I dropped the other one in the fucking ashtray, and then I've got a mouthful of ash, so. What the fuck? Well, why did the fuck his channel go down for that? Last time I saw you live, your wife locked you out. Did you like that stream? Open the door. That's crazy. I plan to be doing shows and podcasts interspersed with IRL content. That's what I want to do. I have not streamed with Rampage Jackson yet. Would love to. I'm down with paranormal stuff. Some of that stuff I've never even experienced, so I can't tell you if I like it or not, but I would try it. You saw him give a blowjob on stream? What? Oh shit, I'd love to talk to Rampage, yeah. I've never thought about sucking dick. Cuff him. Never experienced anything paranormal. Invite XQC, Clavicular Eyes. I would love to. I don't know if I have that kind of clout. Yeah, bro. Brother Cakes. Fuck you. No, I don't. Make me. You are green when it comes to how the world works. Money wins. You know what? Why don't you sue me on their behalf? Because fuck you. Make me. Possession is 9/10 of the law, buddy. I don't have any business ideas right now, honestly. None that I'm excited about. Yes, I cannot handle picking up my prescriptions myself. It surely isn't that there's a better use of my time, but sure. Wait, completely ditching ice? What are you talking about? Oh, you don't think I'll be up tomorrow? Bro, not only will I be up tomorrow, I will have already put in 3 hours of stream by the time maybe when he even wakes up, or when we actually start on the movie stuff. You think I don't need 8 hours? I only need like 5. I feel fantastic, and I would berate them again. In fact, that's the whole point of me doing an apprentice show. I can berate 14 of them at a time. It's way more scale. Two is not enough. It's not entertaining enough. 14, now we're talking. It's either water tapping or an old man tapping on metal. I will absolutely, when I open up the applications, which will probably be within a month, I'll let y'all know. I'm good at 1 to 10. I'm good at 0 to 1 and 1 to 10. I don't know if I'm any good at 10 to 100 in terms of business scale. Ooh. Scientific yachts are pretty interesting here. Is Taz alive? It's a Monte Cristo from Cuba. I mean, I don't mind if Tasso calls me boring, it's fine. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm down to collab with Tav. I'm down. How do I get in contact? Looks maxing. I don't even know what that term means, dude. I'm too fucking old to understand what the fuck look maxing even means. Don't most people try to look better? Like, it's just like part of like living, right? Working out, you know, doing shit. Yeah, those are legit cigars. Two great brands. Huh. So, I'm assuming that the vast majority of you guys are CXers. How long has Shuvi been streaming? I've always wondered. Two years. 2 years. I have never wanted children, and I would love to one day mentor my brother's children on a limited basis. Am I lost in life? Only in the sense of, like, I enjoy the unpredictability of this experience and the adventure it brings. I could be happy without it, but I think I'm happier with it. I love to stream Shuvi. It'll happen. Huh. Good, good. Shuvi looks like he's on the right road. I don't think I want kids of my own, but if Kate wanted them, I'd have them with her. Fake wealth, leeches, I can't read it, it's too fast. Everything rented. You gotta slow it down for me to read what you're even saying. Something about peasants and shit. Getting fucked by the rain. Open the door. Man, I gotta run in. It's too much. It's raining all over me now. Fuck. Ah. Oh man. Ah. I'm all wet now. Nah, it's okay. I got it in time. I got it in time. Is the gay commentary? That's got to be like back in my day, guys would in frats and shit would act gay as a way of, you know, showing affection without actually seeming gay, I guess, or showing camaraderie without actually seeming gay, even though ironically they're acting gay. I feel like y'all are doing that version of that, but the Zoomer version, right? The renting allegations. Show me where I can rent watches, and I'd love to. The watch collection alone is worth $10 million, so show me where you can rent watches. Dude, Ice's toilet's so crazy. I've never seen anything like that. I should buy the same toilet for my cigar lounge. But my god, I'm not looking forward to the fucking installation. It looks like it's a fucking process. And what happens when it malfunctions? It actually turns into a Decepticon and fucking takes you out. While you're on the John. This is a 2702 Nadal. Limited production. Valued at 1.7, almost $1.8 million. Rounds up to 2. No, I've been admiring Jacob & Co. from afar. I went to their boutique recently, streamed it. And I think I'll own a Jacob & Co. piece one day for sure. Probably at Astronomia. It's because you guys are looking at it dead on, whereas when I looked at the time, it's like perfectly visible because of the anglage, like the angled polish. So like at a normal wrist position like this, it's actually most legible, right? Because it's polished at a slight tilt to where I'm looking at, so it catches the light and I see the hands versus the rest of the movement. Whereas when I put it up here, you're seeing it all kind of the same place. There you go. You can see the two hands now, but like it's not as clear as it is to me at an angle. You see, when it's anglaged, you see how it's bright? For me, the tilt is so that both of them are bright at this angle. If that makes sense. That's the thing about RMs. Before I actually saw an RM in person, I didn't understand it. I was like, how do you read the time? And then you see it in person, you're like, oh. You use the angle of the polish as a way to maximize light refraction at the angle of viewing. Oh. And that's the cool part that adds so much depth. Yeah, this watch can work the entire life. They also service them too, so it's not a big deal. I love, yeah, this watch is cool. I mean, look, you can use it to tell time. You can use it for aesthetics. I love the way this watch complements my style, I guess. Like, it's almost like a... it's so out of place. I should be wearing, like, a Patek or a Rolex or something. But, like, I love that. It's like personal sprezzatura, right? I just think it's a great, like, I don't know, it's just representative of me. I'm full of contradictions. Huh? They use up all the power? No? Okay. Wait, did it stop streaming when I went and bought the straps? I might have disconnected or something like that before, but I bought 2 straps. I thought RMs were kind of gaudy, and then I really understood the brand ethos, and I think it's pretty cool now. It's more so the boldness to do something that other people think is gaudy, even though you're not optimizing for gaudy, you're optimizing for performance in your own way. I'm 50 years old. I'll let the lion's mane go gray. Now, this is David Yurman, but I do have a bunch of Chrome Hearts rings. I don't think I brought any of them, though. Well, actually, no, I didn't bring any Chrome Hearts rings. I am a recent convert to Chrome Hearts. Are we ready to sleep in our weird room? I'm kind of looking forward to it. Actually, there is one downside. I normally sleep in places where natural lighting will wake me up quicker, so I do wonder how vampiric I turn in a catacomb. I own a Chrome Hearts bracelet that's, with the current price of gold, probably like worth over 100K, which is fucking nuts. When I bought it, it was like 70K, and then the price of gold just kept shooting up for 2 years. You know? It's one of those big old fucking Cuban link pieces with pave all over it. I honestly don't fucking understand. Like, I never would have spent 100K on a bracelet. Like, that's watch territory, you know? It's 24 karat. Is it, like, it's so fucking fragile, probably. I don't even know if I can wear it anymore. It's like, I don't know, dude. Someone will chop your arm off for 100K. I mean, I guess they'd chop my arm off for 2 mil also. That's how you end up like Count Dooku. This is haunted? Uh-oh. It's Zozo again, isn't it? Don't sell yourself short. I could see you as a flashy guy. Wait, what? What about Indie Fox? I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Dude, I love this. This is David Yurman. Now, I am designing a custom piece with Evan Yurman, similar to the skull. We're designing a rose gold skull with blue sapphire gradient and then green emeralds in its eyes. And it's supposed to match my sapphire RM, not this one. And that's going to be a pinky ring. But I'm not going to wear them together. That's too much. I'm going to wear this one or this one. I will try to start. I don't know. Depends on when I wake up, I guess. We'll see. I forgot that I'm sleeping in a lightless catacomb, so who knows when I'll wake up. But I'll still be up in time for ICE's movie, no doubt. Holy shit, that ash is long. Someone in chat's gonna suck me. I don't know if I'll buy a custom Jacob & Co. piece. I quite like their existing designs. This skull ring is like my favorite ring, basically. It's the one I wear the most. It's so cool. I used to think it's cheesy, and then I was like, I like it. Oh yeah, my wedding ring. That ring is like having tattoo. Nah, bro, when I punch you in the face, there'll be a skull indentation here. If I received 100K, what do you mean? Like someone just gave me 100K? I don't know. I have no idea. What's my stream thumbnail? Nick Bruv. I don't have my Bruce Lee outfit, unfortunately. All I have are various affectations of Hugh Hefner's outfit. I was told that I was supposed to be a manager director from hell. Yeah, astronomy is fucking insane. Sneaky. I may have bought a few of those watches, and maybe one of those watches will be, one of them will find its way in my collection because I think it's pretty cool. The other one may be